Well, the last time that I remember seeing him was when we were at the Desert Inn with Jimmy Dean, and Elvis came in after the show started with his group, and they came in and sat in a booth right dead center with all his entourage, and we're singing along with Jimmy, and Jimmy is talking, so he's a joke teller, and he was telling stories and getting everybody to laugh. And there was a little lull in the show, and there was this voice in the back said, "Let the Imperials sing," and it was he ignored it. He didn't say anything. And then a little bit later, there was a little pause. He says, "Let the Imperials sing," and so so Jimmy had them put the spotlight back there, and it was Elvis. And so we got to sing that night because Elvis asked.
Well, the funny thing about that story was that Jimmy thought it was somebody heckling him. And Jimmy Dean is a guy that was very quick-witted, and he was getting ready to take this guy apart. And then the light goes on him, and it's Elvis. And then Elvis, come up here, man. Yeah. Take a bow. That's a great story. Can I tell a Joe Moscheo story?
Of course you can.
You all know Joe, and we miss Joe. He was a lot of fun. He told me so many hilarious stories about his days with Elvis, but Elvis gave them all very, very expensive watches on opening night. No. It was another occasion, but he gave them all these real expensive watches. So Joe, they're in their dressing room, which is down the hall from Elvis' dressing room, and they're thinking, "Wow, man, what a beautiful gift! My goodness!" And so it's Terry and Roger and Jim and Armin and Joe. Well, Joe says, "Mine's not running. I'm going to go tell Elvis." And they're saying, "Joe, don't do that, Joe. Just sit down, don't worry about it. Just get it fixed. Don't worry about it. I'm going to go tell, he's going to want to know." So Joe said, I go walking down the hallway, and he said, I walk into Elvis's dressing room, and he's sitting there in front of the big lights getting his hair and his makeup and all the stuff for the show, and Red and Sonny and all that bunch was in there. And Joe comes walking in, he says, "Hey, Elvis. Man, I love my watch, thanks, but mine doesn't work." And Elvis, without missing a beat, said, "I'll just buy them, Joe. I don't fix them." and he said, "I felt like falling to my knees and crawling back to the Imperials dressing room." Yeah. And he said, Red and Sonny were screaming, laughing, holding their bellies. And Joe said, I went back into the Imperials dressing room, and Terry and all the guys said, "How'd that work out for you, Joe?"
That's a good one.